Dạ như tôi một cái không hiểu là không thật cả. Okay. Well, we can't really be like that. I don't know, I'm a little bit shy.
You wait for your episode, right? You wait for yours.
I still have to think about it. But anyways. Okay, today we are here at Mrs. P. This is actually a 15th episode that has gone on live on YouTube. Thanks guys. Yeah, 15th episode. I actually wanted to do a 10th episode, but you know, it kind of because of what's been happening this year.
We've got some good ideas happening as well.
Oh yes, 15.
Bang, there you go.
So yeah, when I was thinking about it, you know, 15th episode, that's great. There was one idea I really wanted to do was, you know, when you're working in this industry, right? You often hear questions of like how long you've been doing this, how did you get into this industry, you know, what was your drive, what inspired you, all that kind of questions, right? So I just wanted to put a focus on that and do a bit of an introduction of ourselves to the audience, to the people who've been following Single Cup of Holders, you know, introduction of ourselves.
Right.
So I thought, yes.
Who are these guys?
So I thought, okay, let's start with you. You know, first thing that popped up is our first video. We actually started the whole
Was it
channel.
here?
Yeah, it was just out there.
Yeah,
those of you who saw the first video, we were actually out there filming, and we kind of touched base on there. That this was actually one of the memorable plays for you, especially. So I thought, okay,
Very important place for me.
let's do that. So let's, you know, I just wanted to go into like, you know, a bit of a history about, you know, how long you've been working as a barista and how you got into making coffee and how you got in here. I thought that would be really
Yeah.
I want to hear as well, you know?
Get comfortable, guys. Get your coffee.
Today's
Make sure your seat is comfortable. Where's my cushions? Alright, where do I start? Where do I start?
So let's go off with how long you've been working as a barista now for?
Okay, so I think the funny is like, it's been about 7 years, maybe going on 8.
Oh,
I used to tell people, it's a little while, not too long, but not too short. Now I think it's getting longer. Not like 8 is long, but like I think it's once you pass a certain amount of time, it's like, this guy's in the industry for kind of like a good step. He's not like he's passing through on his way to uni or something.
yeah.
No, it's a little while.
That is, I think, more than 5 years in one particular industry. You know, that's actually fairly long, I would say.
I think a few years in one job is probably long for me. And like I think this has probably been the longest. Probably about the same time, maybe. The amount of time that I spent in this industry as the industry I was in previously. Roughly about the same.
So there's another question. So which industry were you in
Where did I go from?
previously?
I used to be in the hedge fund accounting. It's kind of a small sector of
That's a, like, you know, that's a massive change
to go from the office to working behind the machine. Yeah, you're right. Actually, when I think about it, it is a pretty big change. I guess a lot of people would probably think, oh, how could you like go from the stability and like the paycheck of the office, having like, working in a big corporate environment, you have like good money, it's like super all good, like holidays, paid leave, and all that sort of thing, sick leave, and those things, all of those things which are sort of like, I had to give up in order to become a casual worker in this industry. Now, obviously not all people are casuals in the hospitality industry, certainly I am.
So
big step.
It is. So what made you take that big step out of the, what do you say, financial world?
Yeah. It's interesting. I think, like I was sort of alluding to before, like before we started rolling, for me it was actually less about getting into the coffee industry, but more about getting out of where I was going. So there was like, I guess there's two forces, which one could be pulling you into the coffee industry, the other was like, try to get away, run away from the accounting industry. And for me, mostly it was just trying to get away from that lifestyle, which was really stressful and quite hard for me.
Yeah.
So despite the money's good. I always tell people money's always good in that industry. But like physically suffering a lot, just like from being out of the office in front of like a computer all day to desk back and stuff. Like things that are your own fault, like having that boss for example. But it wasn't really suitable for me. So I was kind of like really did not like the situation that I was in. Like I said, money was good, the work was interesting, the customers were okay, I think, but there wasn't much connection there. Like, you can take pride in your own work, but you didn't really, I didn't feel connected to my clients. Like they weren't cared for. Like in contrast, when you're sort of working at a cafe or a bar, you kind of get to know your customers. You see them every day. You see them before they get to bed. You see them out of it after they climb out of bed. You kind of get to know them. And I think a deeper level than what I was doing at the academy. So human connection, I guess. So definitely more fulfilling. Where I was going than where I was coming from.
And if my memory is right, well, obviously you didn't start from here.
This cafe? Correct, yeah.
So you started off somewhere else.
Yeah.
And that was your first job out of...
Very accurate. Yeah, sort of like that, yeah.
So that was the first job out of your corporate world.
Yeah, I think so. It was kind of a bit more roundabout way to get to that point. So it actually, if we go back a few years before that, after I left my accounting job, part of the reasons that I had given for leaving that accounting job was to pursue a bit of experience, like life living abroad. So I actually had a working holiday to go to Japan, right? And so this was probably 7 plus 2 years ago, thereabouts. And so I was leaving that job in order to live more, go abroad, get more experience and do those sorts of great things, right? So I went over to Japan, and while I was in Japan, I was sort of going around trying to taste coffee, trying to find good espresso, because I knew that Australia had good espresso. And before I left Australia, I just started going around drinking, sort of just getting into the espresso culture, sort of starting with espresso, like coffee, and a little bit of sugar. And sort of just like trying to work out, why do people like this? Why is this cool? Like, I felt it was cool, but I didn't know why. And I had to learn to like coffee. Because I didn't grow up with coffee, and I didn't drink coffee during uni. No, because I didn't want to like become dependent on it. I always thought coffee was like a bit of a, it's like a drug, right? So I didn't want to use it as a crutch to go about my studies. And I wanted to save it for when I really needed to study. I really needed to put all that so that my body wasn't tolerant to it already. I wanted to be like, save it there as an extra sort of backup or a weapon or something like that. So I basically stay clear of like caffeine during university as well. So all up until that point, I hadn't really drunk coffee. And then when I actually got into the office, I still didn't drink much coffee, but I remember my boss would take us downstairs and we would go to coffee club. And I remember this was the first place I started drinking coffee. And it wasn't much, but yeah. And so I remember like looking at the menu up there, and it was like, what's mocha? What's a cappuccino? And what's the difference? And I didn't know what to order, and I got everyone's gonna learn somewhere. That was my place. I think I was ordering cappuccinos because it had chocolate in it. Yeah. I would order like all blacks, and I was doing it all. It's like long and black. Strong.
So your entry coffee was like a cappuccino. You could pretty much say.
I sort of was exploring the menu. Trying to figure out what's going on. But that's where I remember, yeah. Anyway, I told you this is going to be like...
No, that's okay. Look, like, this is really interesting.
Yeah, so after that, that was me working in the office. And then, so I was sort of drunk a little bit of coffee at that time. And then I went overseas. So we go back to where I moved over to Japan. And I was already starting to drink espresso. So I was going around Japan trying to read the signs for places that has espresso. Because at the time, not everywhere had espresso, not many places had espresso. And I was always trying to read. So that's how I learned the katana for espresso. I'd start to recognize it. Because like in Japan, they don't write everything in English. So I was like, had to work out what the word for espresso was, or how it was written. And I came to recognize it. I came to recognize that, and then I could see from outside what places had espresso, I'd see the sign, and then I'd go in and order it. And most of the time I was disappointed. It was sometimes one place I vividly remember was not even made out of an espresso machine. It was like they were brewing it like I think it was like a mocha, a stovetop, but really strong. So espresso strength was the goal, I think, but it was inevitably like watery, not what I was used to, which is kind of back then. It was probably like really thick, viscous shots, probably dark roast. Yeah, kind of thing. But that was back then. So I was in Japan and I was starting to explore a bit more about coffee. And I was there for about 1.5 years. That was like the length of working holiday in Vietnam. And right before I was due to leave so I got this job in the feed mills in Takaba, in Nagano Prefecture. And I was working there in a ski rental store, spicy ski rentals, and we were put up with the company. Most of our customers were Australian, and I was able to learn a little bit of Japanese while I was there, working with Japanese people, customers, and all the staff. Also, a good mix of Australians, so it was pretty easy going. And there was this one cafe in town. It was called Sounds Like Cafe, and it was very Australian style. It was so cool. It felt like when you'd walk in off the snow down in town, and you'd walk in and it'd be just like walking into a cafe in Australia. It had that vibe. It was interesting because I later learned the owner of the cafe there, he actually trained in Glee, in a cafe in Glee. Glee. Over there. That cafe, I haven't been there in ages, but it's florist. It's half florist, half cafe. I have to go check it out.
Yeah, I think I know which one it is.
What's the word for graceful?
Graceful. I want to go smuts.
I want to find out that name, but anyway, I think that's the name of the cafe. But anyway, the point was,
also Japanese guy.
This guy in I think that's the name of the cafe. Anyway, so getting back to my point, I was in that cafe in Japan, and it was cool. It was like it just come from Australia. And so it was the last day of my stay on the slopes because I was moving on. It was like winter was nearing its end, and I was going to move to my next one, my next holiday. And that's another great chapter. And anyway, but so I was sitting sort of like at the table, enjoying breakfast with one of my co-workers and a guy from France. and he and I were chatting about something, and I think we were chatting about like what we want to do when we go home or something like that. And I was kind of like, oh, I think I want to get this coffee. Like, I think at that time I must have felt it was cool. It would be cool to sort of be a barista and just have that kind of relaxation, that lifestyle, that rapport with people. Making coffee, latte art,
behind the machine,
the liquid gold dripping out of the machine, pouring out. It was that kind of that image, that mystique. It was cool. And I think I wanted to try it. I had the freedom there, like to change careers. I knew I wanted to not go home and go back into the same. And it was an opportunity to change. And I was sort of, like I said, I was nearing the end of my visa in Japan. So anyway, my friend Julian, he sort of says to the boss, Kazu, hey, my friend here, Will, wants to become a barista. How about you teach him? So it's all thanks to my friend's loud mouth that I got that chance, my first chance to get up to the coffee machine. So on my last day, well, not that day, but like on my last day in town, I went back to the cafe and we sort of arranged to have a little session on the machine. Sort of just literally took me through the process of like, grab the water filter, put it here, do this, fill it up with thing, and then like, make this, tamp, and then put it in the machine. I can't remember the exact but so we made coffee. And then he said to me, alright, you're gonna steam this milk with a cappuccino. So I'm steaming the milk, I don't know what I'm doing. He's guiding me. And then like I make a coffee, I'm pouring it super slow, being so careful, I'm like, I still don't know what I'm doing. But I'm keeping the palette pretty nice and brown. Anyway, and then we're done. And then I'm like, yes, I did it. And Cousin's like, yeah, it's more of a flat white than a cappuccino. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, alright. I had no idea. So, and that was my first video that I made. That's cool. So it was a really cool thing, and then I sort of I left the bar, and then 3 months later, 3 months was it? No, it was actually more like I had 6 months in Japan, and then I came back to Australia, and finally we get to the relevant point. So I'm actually like, I get back to Australia and I don't have a job obviously when I get here, and I'm walking around, still drinking coffee, still like loving the inspiration of the city scene because it's still new to me. I didn't know much about it.
Well, obviously because you just entered.
Yeah, I just entered, and before I left, like I was at Hospital, like I didn't know what a mopper was. Anyway, so I was walking around. I live here in Melbourne, so and I was walking around and I was exploring a lot of the streets in the local area, just walking. That's what you do with a job. And one day I was walking down this street.
Just this street.
I'm walking actually in that direction, and through the door there, I walk past and I see this machine. That was my image. I'm gonna take a photo and stick it there. And I see that machine, and I'm like, I don't even know what the machine is, but like, I knew it was a coffee machine, and it's a shiny one.
It actually looks cool.
Yeah.
Solid body. One thing I like about Nespresso, it's like, you can tell it's American machine, right?
It's a 3-group.
3 groups,
it was cool, and I like. There's a thing where you can. It used to be more true, I think, that you could walk to a cafe, you can look at it and you can tell if it was
especially
it had the right equipment. These days, I don't think that holds true as much.
No, not as much. No.
For reasons we can get into that. But anyway, so I walked past and I knew that this was a coffee cafe, and so that was my first experience. So I walked in and I was like, check it out, had coffee. But I was like, 2 years before this time, this was not here. I'd be more than Australia. This was not here when I left to go to Japan. I came in and I said to the constitutive guys while I was overseas. So I'd come back to Australia, walk down the street in Melbourne, and I'm like, this is not here when I left. And that was my first introduction to this thing.
So no, that's a really good story.
Obviously, they didn't know me. I was mistaken.
No. Yeah, I think that's a bit of a challenge to go into, especially specialty coffee game. Is without experience, it is a bit of a boundary to go across. So, how did you get into a specialty game? Well, so obviously you would have got a job somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
You came back from overseas, you didn't have a job, so you needed to, get a job.
So I think